Good afternoon and welcome to As E Day Hot, where our stories are hot this afternoon, but the weather is rather cold. First, the airpiece scandal. An NSIB report confirms that crew members tested positive for alcohol and drugs. These are individuals responsible for hundreds of lives at 30,000 feet. If they're high, who is really flying the plane? Second, new banking requirements announced by the federal government. Stricter rules to open and operate bank accounts, allegedly for transparency. But critics say this could be the beginning of financial exclusion and government overreach. You're welcome to Aside Hot. My name is Sharon Enemchuku and I'm joined in the studio as usual by Ifoma Oji. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Sharon.
How are you doing?
I'm rather feeling cool. I'm feeling cool this afternoon. But I guess it's the weather.
It is the weather.
Yeah.
It is the weather. But hopefully our discussions will fire you up.
Yes, definitely. It has to. Because, I mean, Nigerian Matasha.
Exactly. So talking about firing us up, we are excited about the fact that Hilda Bassi is currently attempting to break another world record for cooking the biggest pot of jollof rice, and it is currently ongoing as we speak, today being September 15, 2025, and it's something that we love to see. 12th September. Yeah. It's something that we love to see, bringing culture, food, music into one activity, into one event, and it's gathering the right type of attention. These are the things that we want to see happening for Nigerians, whether you're in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. We've seen some videos online and a lot of supporters have already trooped in to support her. Of course, Enioluwa is there, like we mentioned before. If Eni is not there, I don't know who wants to be there cooking the biggest pot of jollof rice. But just quickly, let's give our reactions on that. What do you make of the entire attempt?
I mean, I think this is first of its kind. This has never happened to Nigeria before, and I think it's a great milestone to even think about in the first place. I mean, Hilda Bassi have been doing great when it comes to entertainment and her passion for cooking, or food. So I think this is a good way to go. And then I talked about the last time when we mentioned that this was going to happen today. I was talking about how it will bring national integration, unite different persons or different communities and cultures together, and we are seeing it. I mean, the formal place they were, the location where they were supposed to hold this particular what's it called, what do they call it? The cookathon. It was supposed to contain about 3,000 persons, but now they've moved it to, that should be, is it Eco Hotel and Suites, which can contain up to 20,000
Beautiful.
And according to Hilda Bassi, she said that about 20,000 persons have registered, and that was the reason they had to relocate to a different, venue for it. And it's always
Nigerians are so supportive.
Nigerians
I love
support
that.
Their own. It's beautiful to see. This is our own, and we love everything that smells or whispers progress. We love it. Of course,
we love that. And I like the support.
Yes, and we know that we are not, there presently, but I mean, we are there with them in this.
No, me, I am there. I am there. Whether they can see me or not, what I know is that I am live at Echo where this is happening and going down. But at the end of the day, one thing I love about Nigerians is the fact that they are so supportive. The same energy they would use to drag you is the same energy they would use to support you if they love you and they love what you stand for. And I like the fact that Nigerians have come out en masse. 20,000 people for one person is no joke. This is not just for Hilda Bassi. It is what it means for us as Nigerians. Every day we come on this table, we talk about trending issues about poor governance and what the government should be doing but are not doing. And it is so lovely to see Nigerians making name for themselves despite the kind of situation we have currently in Nigeria. This is a beautiful occasion, and for everybody who is out there to support Hilda Bassi, you all have our support. Now, moving on to an equally entertaining story, in my opinion. pilots that are supposed to be flying flying passengers over 30,000 feet high have been caught high. Now, who is now flying the plane? That is the question. Who is flying the plane?
Everybody's flying.
We're in God's hands. We're in God's hands at this point.
We're all flying high. But I was actually, should I say, I wouldn't say I was devastated, but I was extremely undaunted when I saw this in the news. I mean, we were talking about how people, go against the rules guiding the airplane body and the aircraft
security.
Yes. And we didn't even know that even the people that are supposed to secure lives of about 100 and something persons are equally flying high. So it is quite sad to see. And I mean, a whole earpiece that I think it's up to 10 years old. 11 years old.
They've been there for a while.
Yes,
now.
They've been 10 years, but I think they started it was 11 years, but they've been in operation for 10 years. So yes, earpieces that have gone, this far, have come this far, and we're hearing something like this.
No, this is absurd.
A cabin crew that is under the influence and putting hundreds of persons,
not just alcohol, drugs.
Yes, drugs.
How?
And I'm like, how? What happens to the security, checks? What happens to all the terminals? I mean, they're supposed to test these people before, even apart from the passengers, people that are supposed to protect you.
Exactly.
You understand? The people that are supposed to guide you are equally, found wanting when it comes to, the drug addiction and the rest of it. And it is so sad. And if nothing is done about it, I mean, the reputation that these airpiece have been trying to, maintain for quite a number of years now, it will definitely come crumbling.
Do you know my own observation and reservation is that why did it take an NSIB investigation to uncover that this crew were on drugs and were taking alcohol? Is it that at the airpiece protocols there is no protocol in place to checkmate, or let us have our checks or monthly health checks? Let's see people that are on the influence and people that have these things in their system before flying the plane. Now, it brings to mind, what are the qualifications or criteria that are being set aside for a pilot or a crew, any crew member at all, to be able to board a plane and be responsible for hundreds of lives? That is one. Because you said something now that they've been in operation for a decade now, if not more than a decade. And are you trying to tell me that for a decade they've not been able to really put their act together and ensure the safety of the lives of people that they fly? This is not to bash them in particular. I'm just talking about the entire aircraft now. I'm just talking about the entire people that are involved in this. Is it that there were no security measures in place, or they were able to find a way to just avoid that or avert that, and this happened?
Maybe yes, maybe they have been averting the protocol, the testing protocols is very much possible. But I think the reason why this actually came maybe in the limelight in the first place is because of the the recent incidents that have been happening. I think that was why they had to probe into the aircraft organization, and then they investigated and they are finding out these loopholes. Because I mean, if you're trying to obtain or regulate a lot of things, I think it should start from the cabin. It should start from the crew. You understand? That is the only way it can trickle to the rest of the passengers. But whereby a situation whereby the people that are supposed to be in charge are not in charge, what do you expect from people that are not in charge, are not even owning up, or are not even responsible enough to be placed in charge? What do you expect expect from the passengers. Of course, they are definitely going to be, you know, averting those protocols or kind of be deflecting when it comes to those those
I understand
protocols.
what you're saying, and you know it's funny because just recently, especially this year and in the last month, the kind of PR and the kind of image that the Nigerian aircraft has been getting is not funny at all. We've had the Quam 1, Quam 2, and when we thought that that was all, we had the Quam 3. Now, pilots are high. It is a really crazy situation. Pilots, the crew, people that are supposed to be in charge of the lives and the safety and security of passengers on air. We are not talking about drivers now. We are talking about aircrafts and piloting and all of that. It is quite insensitive, and it is not just about them wanting to have a good time. Now they have completely disregarded the lives of the people that have entrusted their lives in their care. And my question is, what is Airpeace going to do about this? Because at the end of the day, even though we are not singling them out, because this just goes to show that if this is happening in Airpeace, we don't know what is happening in Ibom Air. We don't know what is happening in other aircrafts as well. So what are they going to do about this?
I think I mentioned it earlier. I think they need to, you know, find ways to, you know, end this completely, because as it stands right now, their reputation is at stake. You understand? Not just nationally but internationally. There was one time we were talking about, I mean, remind me the five, what do they, that T card, the president signing the, what do they call it? I can't remember, but I'm talking about the signing he did with, I mean, the
I don't
travel,
recall.
The travel, the president tried, the T-card travel, yeah. I know he signed some deals with the international bodies, and one of them was actually to bring down the hub, aircraft hub into Nigeria. So imagine foreign investors hearing something like this at a time like this, whereby maybe they are considering, you know, tripping in their investments down to Nigeria. This will actually, you know, kind of make them double-minded into, you know, investing in Nigerians aircraft. So I think the Airpeace, they should try as much as possible to, I mean, if they have regulatory body, they should, I think it's time for them to act, you know, swift as possible. Yes. If there are people that have been found wanting, people that have, you know, have gone against the rules, I think those persons should be, you know, punished severely, because it should not at first be condoned at all, or even brought out into the public for anything discussion. So.
Now, I'm also asking, if they do this and they conduct their investigation and all of that, now should the airline face suspension or a full-blown audit? Let us look into other aspects that we might have ignored and just pay more attention to that. Or should they be suspended because of this? This is a big issue.
You know, most of the times when we talk about if we're talking about security, yeah, some IG or some top officials in, you know, in office would tell you that these people that go about perpetrating, you know, evil into the police sector, that they didn't know about it.
They didn't know.
They are not aware of it. That they hear about it and they try as much as possible to, you know, stop it. But at the end of the day, it's not everybody that you can regulate. That is one of their defenses. So what I'm saying here is that there is a possibility that, I mean, the top, the crew, the main official in aircraft might not even be aware that the crews are high. The people that are supposed to secure,
then that says a lot about the management.
Exactly,
if they don't know.
Exactly. So if you talk about suspension, I don't really know if I should say that they should be placed on suspension or they should go on suspension. I don't have the you know, the right to, you know, suggest that. But if it can be probed into more. I mean, more investigation be conducted, and if there is anything that has to do with rules or guidelines, that if you go against, you know, certain rules and regulation that has to do with, I mean, the officials, and there's anything like suspension in there, then I think they should go in for it.
No, definitely, most definitely, for the perpetrators or the people that have been caught in the act, they would face some level of punishment. Now, I'm saying it shouldn't just end there. There should be consequences that just affect, not just affect, but the entire airline should face it, so they know that this is not just the crew's fault. It says a whole lot about the system and how they run their business, the aircraft and all of that. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, moving forward, I just said this now. Is there a possibility, if this has happened in Air Peace, that this could be happening in other local airlines?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, because like we said before, Air Peace is one of the biggest aircraft we have here in Nigeria. So if something like this is happening in Air Peace, then there is every chance or every possibility that it will be happening in other in other
local airlines.
Yes.
Now, NDLEA and NCAA, are they truly playing their roles now, or are they just signing papers? Because this is something that they should have looked into before the NSIB report.
Well, I feel like maybe they have not been actually performing their duties properly. If they have, then I think it is not enough, because we are not even supposed to hear about this when we're not supposed to hear about this right now, because they should be working before even the Quam 1, Quam 2, and the rest of them came on board. You understand? So it shouldn't be something that we are discussing now. So if it is just coming out now, that means they've not been, you know, performing their duties, you know, well over the years.
All right. Thank you so much,
so, I mean, this should be a wake-up call for
exactly them. Not just for Air Peace now, but for other local airlines as well. If I were the management of other local airlines, this would be an opportunity for me to call the entire crew, cabin member, everybody, and do the same thing, the same investigation, just to be on the safe side. We learn by other people's mistakes, and I'm not saying that we are perfect or mistakes can't happen or we can't have this from time to time. I'm just saying that it should be reduced to the minimum. Now, moving on to the next story, with what we have in Nigeria and the situation we are facing with taxes, the Nigerian government has come again to say that for you to operate or open any bank account, that we need a tax identification ID. That's a tax ID, a tax identification number, and this will start happening from January 1st, 2026. So what does this now mean for us with our finances and with our money as Nigerians? What does this mean for us?
When I saw this, I was like, not again. Wait till we do this. Not again.
Until I give one of my blood.
Is it until you take our intestines? I don't know these people's plan. It's like every day they wake up, they bring new thing. That, you know, to choke Nigerians, the more they bring new thing. But according to them, they said the reason for this is, you know, to generate more revenue for the government. Calm down. Calm down. I'm trying to provide more. According to them, is to provide more revenue for the government, and not just that. There are a lot of persons that have evaded, tax. So it's kind of to avoid people evading tax, for people to pay their tax. And but I'm like, why now that everything is extremely high? We have food inflation, we have insecurity. These people. What is wrong with these people?
Okay.
Ogini, what is wrong with these people? Because I believe we have other, issues. We have other, salient issues that we're supposed to be tackling and not this. I'm not talking about maybe that the fact that there shouldn't be anything like, reformation when it comes to tax, people not evading tax and the rest of them. But at the same time, this is not the problem of Nigeria. You people already generate more money from the oil sector. You generate more money from a lot of avenues. Nigeria has a lot of resources that you export. You have a lot that even in the country you sell to Nigerians. Why is it that you want to choke Nigerians the more? It is enough, government. It is enough.
No.
Let the Nigerians breathe, please.
It cannot be enough. It's not enough until they suck the blood of every Nigerian dry. Because now we are talking about this tax, right? We have the 5% surcharge on fuel that will also start 2026. Now, the 5% tax for telecom that was only recently reversed, there's that. Now, this tax with the bank statements and our bank accounts opening with tax ID numbers. Remember that we've done the national ID identification number that we did before, and we have not yet seen how that particular exercise has either helped Nigerians in getting their bank accounts protected from thieves or getting our data in the system. We don't know how the benefits of that NIN till date. We also have BVN and other things than the NNNN, now the TIN, that's the tax identification number. My question is, when the government said that they were going to focus on non-oil revenue sources for Nigeria, is this what they meant? That's yes, one. Did they mean they were going to make this revenue? Because you just said something about the fact that they want to make revenue. Now my question is this the plan? Was this the plan from the onset? Now you're trying to tell me that other avenues that we have to make money as a nation is not enough for the government, because I see this as a lack of creativity in generating revenue. Seriously? So we have the agricultural sector that we just left it to bleed and dry with insecurity, torturing farmers and people who have farmlands. We've left that one. We've left other things, the textile industry and all of that. We've left things that we can maximize, the raw materials that we have to maximize. We've left that, and now the only way the Nigerian government knows to make revenue is to overtax its citizens, and it does not make sense to me. It's quite hurtful that at the end of the day, these people are now going straight to the people that they are supposed to provide for to take from them. And I'm asking, and I'm also saying, there is a point you will just take and take and take until there's nothing left. And this is what we are seeing and facing in Nigeria. But now, I'm asking now, let's just look at it on a different perspective. Could this be a way for them to sort of monitor or control personal finances? Do you think they are trying to control people's personal finances, keep us on a certain level of empowerment or financial freedom?
Definitely, because with this, you having a tax ID, your account number is going to be linked to the tax ID. So whatever, how much is dropping into your account, they are aware of it. So it's more like they are trying to, make sure that they kind of should I censor everything that has to do with Nigerian citizens. But there's another thing I want to bring to our notice here. These politicians that have been evading tax, was it last week or last 2 weeks that we discussed about, Dino Melai evading tax, millions of tax yet unpaid, which they pasted in his gates just to alert him, and at the end of the day he's facing according to them, he's facing the dissident in law in court. And I'm like, will they still go for these people? Because they should not go for ordinary Nigerians that their income is 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira, or 20,000 naira. Because at the end of the day, how much is a family man supposed to spend in a month to feed the family? We know how much garri costs. We know how much onion costs. We know how much literally all beans cost. Things are literally very high in the market. So I'm like, an average Nigerian might be earning like 50,000 naira. How much tax do they want to collect from Nigerians? It's more like, just like what you said, is a situation whereby they keep taking and taking and taking. Was it last week or earlier on this week we were talking about them signing cannabis into, you know, law, legalizing?
No, they are trying to do that.
Yes, they are planning on doing that. And I was like, okay, it should be a welcome development. I mean, this should be a new source of revenue for Nigeria, but I did not see this coming. This is the height of insensitivity. This is the height of disconnect. It shows vividly that these leaders do not care about how Nigerians feel. They don't care. It's serious disconnection from the leaders and the people they govern, and it's quite sad to see.
Now, another problem that I have with Nigerians and how they make these announcements is that they, during the time or the process of making this law, there's no sort of public input. Now, they have come out to announce this, right? Now, people that have access to the internet, people that read their newspapers or get their news online have seen this. Now, what happens to the market woman that doesn't use a smartphone? Does she understand what is going on in the country? So it's as though people are just living in darkness. They don't know what is happening, especially for those in the rural areas. The mama that is selling pepper, selling provisions, they don't know all of this English that they are speaking. They don't understand it. So first off, I have a problem with, you said there is a disconnect, and I couldn't agree less. How are they going to pass this information across? And we are saying January 2026. From now till December, would that be enough time to properly disseminate this information? That's one. And from what I read, they said for small businesses, they have 30 days to inform the government before shutting down their businesses. So before you shut down their business, you have to give them a sort of heads up that, okay, this is what I'm going to do in 30 days time, so that they can deregister your tax ID or whatever it is they want to do. Now I'm saying, will this cause people to revert back to holding and hoarding cash?
Definitely. And this would, apart from hoarding cash, this will actually, you know, fuel more criminality in the country. Because when people know that, my money is no longer safe in the bank, people are now, you know, storing money at home. This is when, I mean, armed robbers and the rest of them are going to come out in their numbers in full moon to rob people's houses, because there are a lot of people that want to, you know, escape this. But it's not about escaping. It is about how much you earn that the government want to take from you. Was it last year they were talking about this? They talked about this tax, you know, reform, where they mentioned something like, if your business is, you earn below 1 million naira, you earn below 500,000 naira, I can't really remember the details, that you're pruned, or you won't be paying tax. But a situation whereby you earn up to 1 million naira, that you will be paying tax, and it might actually be higher, which was that time then reasonable. But to think that it is now going to be signed that whether you earn 5 naira or you earn 10 naira or you earn 50 naira, that you must pay tax. It is the level of insensitivity. And I was talking about how we disseminate the information, because people living in rural, areas, most of them don't even have Android phones to, go ahead with the registration processes. Most of them don't even know what you're talking about in the first place. So let's say, for example, that a grandma, a normal market woman, hears about this. How will she?
This is the same thing I just said.
It? And yes, and not just how will she go about it. How is she? How will this news sound to her? What about the barrel pushers in the market? What about the people that hawk in the market? Like, this is I don't know what is wrong with this government. I feel like all these things is geared towards 2027, that this is what the president is trying to do, because he's seen this kind of, you know, danger coming 2027 that people are not going to turn out en masse to vote for him. So he's using this opportunity to loot a lot of things. The government is using this opportunity to make sure that, you know, they loot a lot of, you know, money or enrich themselves before they leave office, and it is quite sad to
Thank you, Reformer. At the end of the day, we cannot sit back and watch all of these policies or laws being imposed on us as a country. First of all, at the end, I just wanted to know, the banks that, I don't know if they've raised any objection to these new rules. I mean, why aren't they saying anything? Because this would actually discourage a lot of people from using banks altogether, like we mentioned before. But that is where we're going to call it a wrap on the show. Thank you, Ifoma, for doing this with me, as always. Always a pleasure. To our VVIP viewers, thank you for viewing. Thank you for sharing your comments in the comment section. Remember that you can find us across all social media platforms at Active Citizens. If you are yet to subscribe, you are wrong. Endeavor to do so right away. Find me on my personal page at Sharon NM Chuku, and Ifoma.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miss Alex.
All right, so till we see you this evening for Active Citizens Parliament, do have a good afternoon.